जी आप लोग इधर वार्म अप हो रही है। हाँ जी वो वार्म अप हो रही है। ओ देख उन्होंने पता लग गया है ना। कैमरा रिकॉर्डिंग से लगा है।
Good afternoon and welcome to our field lecture here at Deep Sea World, where we are about to feed our 2 resident seals in the pool in front of you. Now, the 2 seals that we've got here are mother and daughter pair. We have Mora, she's 20 years old and she's obviously mum. And then we have Heather, she's just 12 and she's daughter. Now, the one who's just come up on the beach, that's mum, and today is being fed by Richard. And then both of you guys together with me, that's Heather, that's daughter, and today she's being fed by Chris. Now, what you'll see at the start of the feed is that our aquarists do a little bit of beach work with our seals. So you'll see they'll give them a bit of a check-up. So they can check flippers, they can also check down their back, down their front, and you can see there as well they can check their teeth too. Now the reason they do this is just to get the seals quite used to coming up onto the land, just in case there ever was any sort of problem that they would check we checked over for. So they come up and they're quite happy to do it. Now during this feed as well, you will see Heather doing a little bit more than Mora. Now it's just an age thing. It's the age they are now, but also the age that they were when we got them. So Heather was a little bit more willing to learn new things. But everything you see her do, they're not tricks for your entertainment, they are actually her exercises. So you'll see, as she's doing them, she's kept nice and physically fit, moving around, and she's also kept mentally active as well. We'll see her look to Chris, see what he wants her to do. She'll help him do it. If she thinks she could maybe do it better, or maybe do something else as well, she'll check back, do that, and when she knows once she's done it, she heads back over and gets a nice tasty fish reward. Now our seals here, they were captive bred, so they will never be released into the wild, as they wouldn't have the necessary skills. They are harbour seals, also known as common seals, however not quite as common as they used to be, so we do tend to refer to them now as harbour seals. Are one of the types that you will find around the British coast, the other being the grey seal. Now there's a few ways to tell the difference between the 2 types of seal. First of all is to look at their nose. So if you have a little look and you see their nostrils, on these seals here, there we go, she's showing you the quickest go back in the water. If you have a look at the nostrils on our seals here, you can't see it, there are pictures on the wall behind it. You'll see they sit in a sort of V shape, so that's a harbour seal. Whereas grey seals, rather than having V-shaped nostrils, they actually sit like 2 parallel slits, so look a lot more like a number 11. Now the other difference with their nose is to do with the shape of their face. So if you look at our seals here, they've got quite a cute face, they've got a dipped nose, makes them look a little bit like a dog. Whereas grey seals, instead of having this dipped nose, they have what's known as a Roman nose. So it sticks out a lot more and gives them a much bigger head shape. So if you ever see a little what type of seal it is, that's the best thing to look for. However, they've also got a different pattern as well. You look at our 2 seals here, you'll see they've got a sort of spot pattern, especially on their belly. She's got a few spots on her belly, whereas if you see Morag, she's got lots and lots. So it's also one way of telling individual seals. Here we are, nice big kiss there between mum and daughter. So the spot pattern is obviously one way of telling individual seals, but also it's a way of telling them apart. Harbour seals have spots, grey seals have patches. The last difference is that grey seals do tend to be a bit larger than our seals here. Now if you're looking at the nose, trying to see the shape of those nostrils, you will also notice that our seals have rather large eyes. Now these large eyes are good for 2 reasons. First of all, they help them look out for things that might like to eat them. Now you'll also notice when our seals are swimming, they'll actually spend most of the time swimming on their back with their belly up in the air. Now the reason for this is so they can keep an eye out beneath them. The sort of thing they're keeping an eye out for are things like sharks and killer whales. So that's the sort of thing that likes to eat seals. what they do, they come up from underneath and grab the seal that way. So if they've got their large eyes looking down, hopefully they'll manage to get out of the way.
Oh.
Here they're showing you how good she is by getting the hook out and bringing it up onto the land over to dress. There we go, this is quite a new skill for her, so she's doing pretty well at it now. Now the other reason for the large eyes is to help them find their own food. So you can see obviously they do like to eat fish, but if you imagine you're a seal and you're swimming around our coast and you're trying to find fish, it's not going to be that easy all the time. Do think the water, it's not always the clearest, can be a little bit murky, so you've got that to contend with. And then also it's not always the brightest weather, especially if you're hunting at dawn or at dusk, so it can be quite dark as well. So these large eyes just give them an added advantage. Oh, she's trying to get some steam up to get up here now. There she goes. There we go. She's done it that time. So obviously
20 year or 12 year?
they're also better at staying underwater than they actually are up on the land. The other thing though that does help them find their food is if you have a look at their face again, you will be able to see they do have whiskers. Now these whiskers sense pressure changes in the water, so if for example there's a shoal of fish going past, they'll be able to know it's there and know there's a nice tasty meal there for them. Now as the seals are swimming around as well as swimming on their back, you'll notice they spend a lot of time swimming with their head actually under the water. Now while they're doing this, just like us, they have to hold their breath. But they're obviously a lot better at this than we are. Now a seal on an average dive will hold it for about 20 minutes, however they can hold it for up to an hour and a half. Now what they do when they're underwater is they actually conserve their oxygen. So oxygen is what we take in when we breathe, and it basically keeps our bodies alive. So what they do to save this underwater is they actually lower their heart rate. So they can lower it from about 120 beats per minute down to just 6. The other thing they'll do is they will pump blood mainly around vital organs. It's mainly just around the brain, the heart and the lungs. So this saves them oxygen and means they can stay under for a lot longer. You'll also notice just before they pop their heads under, they do close their nose over and this just stops any water from seeping in. Now a lot of people get seals and sea lions confused. They are from the same family, however there are a few differences. So the family they're from is the pinniped, however as I said there are differences. The most noticeable is their ability up on land. Now if you watch our seals swimming, they are very, very graceful. Oh, nearly. There we go, she's going to try again. But up on land, not quite as graceful. They have to do a bit of a shuffle. So they have to pull themselves along. Now if you've ever seen a sea lion, rather than shuffling along out on the land, they actually do more of a walk. Now the reason for this is to do with the difference in the way they swim. So if you watch our seal swimming here, she does what's known as a pelvic wiggle and uses her back flippers, whereas sea lions, rather than doing this, they actually propel themselves through the water, pull themselves using their front flippers. So their front ones are a lot longer and a lot stronger, and they can do more of a walk. Now another difference is to do with their ears. If you're looking for ears on our seal, you'll see they just got little holes in their head. Whereas if you see a sea lion, rather than they've actually got external ear flaps. So again, if you see little holes looking at the water, trying to work out if it's a seal or a sea lion, little holes on the side means it's a seal, ear flaps means it is a sea lion. Last difference is, again, sea lions tend to be quite a bit larger than our seals here. There we go, they're learning how to stay as well. They're pretty good, sometimes they cave, but they tend to be pretty good at this now. Oh. Just like it for me. Now one of the questions we get